Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for preview number 4 of the Euros. We have done groups A, B and C. So guess what? Here comes Group D. I wonder if there could be anybody familiar in this group. We have Croatia, the Czech Republic, and then both England and Scotland as well. So a real interesting group. Obviously, this is going to have probably the most interest out of any of the groups, given who we broadcast to on this channel and obviously our proximity to Scotland. I would hope, without any sense of self-importance, to consider England one of the big boys, but obviously their 2018 World Cup conquerors Croatia in there, and great to have Scotland in as well. Hope we don't just treat the Czechs as an afterthought and they end up going and beating a couple of teams. That would be very interesting, wouldn't it? Let's go through team by team. We'll go with the Croats first, managed by Zlatko Dalic. FIFA World Ranking 23. That's lower than I thought it would be, considering they've really turned up at a couple of tournaments. Obviously, World Cup finalists and losing in 2018. And a very, very good team. Probably even better than their 2018 in 1998 that I was very fond of with, well, even the 96 team, actually. Remember Davor Suker chipping Peter Schmeichel at Hillsborough? They were great. I think that was their first tournament as well. I just remember Robert Jarni, Robert Prosinecki, who had a joke of a season at Pompey, didn't he? Where he was quite old but way too good for the league. Davor Suker, obviously, we've talked about. Alan Boksic. God, there were probably too many to remember. Anyway, the 2018 team has kind of faded off a little bit because it was all Modric, who's class, obviously, Rakitic, Perisic, Mandzukic, and it feels like when we spoke about Belgium, like they're in the last throes of their golden generation. I think the Croats have just gone past now, although Modric will still be there at age 35, and look, you know, is what it is with a player like that. You get him in the team and even at his advanced years, he'll still be quality. You can see some more familiar names. Transfermarkt has Mateo Kovacic as Chelsea as their highest valued player. Brozovic, you can see there of a good Inter team as well. Rebic from the other side of Milan. That is the last 11 that was put out. No Modric in there. He did come on as a sub. Last 11 in a competitive game. Remember, we always go for here. So you will certainly see Modric, and you'll certainly see him starting against England. A bit of a sense that it's the last hurrah for a couple of those players. So, yes, how much of a threat will they be? And have they faded a little bit and England either sustained or improved since 2018? I know what I hope, but let me know what you think in the comments. And then there is the Czech Republic, managed by Jaroslav Šilavy, position 42 in the world ranking. So would, we know a lot about Scotland, so would be maybe considered a bit of an outsider here. Souček and Soufal from West Ham we're very familiar with as Premier League fans. And Patrick Schick up top as well will be the goal threat. It does feel, I remember that team with, what was the guy who used to play for Arsenal? Rosicky in, and previous ones with Barros and Collar. It feels like they had quality players in attacking positions in past tournaments. Always would, have good technical players, the Czechs, wouldn't they? But I'm just wondering in this one, do they have less star quality than previous tournaments? It would appear to look that way. And I think for both England and Scotland, there's going to be a lot of attention on beating the Czechs as the basis of qualification. So they're going to have a say in this, and if they are better than we expect them to be, they're going to upset a couple of our home nations, let's just say. That's the Czechs. Let me know what you think on them. And there are England, ranked 4th in the world, and there's that lovely glistening World Cup. They're obviously managed by Gareth Southgate. Look, we don't need to go through player for player for England, but I mean, it is interesting to do so, because when we see, look, there's Harry Kane as the highest valued player. When we see a Lewandowski or, I don't know, someone of that nature with one of the other teams, we do get very excited. And of course, we do have that world-class striker of our own, perhaps. And we've made comparisons with centre-back rosters that contain Sol Campbell, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, Jamie Carragher, Martin Keown, Jonathan Woodgate, Ledley King, Rio Ferdinand. Did I mention him? I think I said him twice. So possibly weaker in defence than some of the other, quote, big nations. I'd like to class England as a big nation. And of course, we have this glorious lineup now with the group of death, don't we? Where there will be people that suggest losing to Croatia and finishing second isn't actually the worst thing in the world. I know that's not going to be popular, but if you then pick up 4 or 6 points in the other 2 games and finish second, thus avoiding the runner-up from Germany, France, Portugal group of death, I don't know. I know we're going to get arguments to that effect. Obviously, you just want to be winning games, but looking at the tournament as a whole, that's becoming a conversation. And of course, for England, we'll do a specific video on the team predicted for the Croatia game. We're getting just a little bit more and more dripped out of the training camp now, so hopefully we'll get some ideas, and maybe I will get that done tomorrow. But get your thoughts in on England and their possible position in this group. Far more interesting probably for us to talk about, because we talked about them a bit less, are the Scots, managed by Steve Clarke, position 48. And annoying for the Scots, look, they've got 2 seemingly, I know transfer marked value McTominay higher than Tierney. Seems like they've got 2 sort of high caliber international class left backs in the squad. So I think we're suspecting they'll get both of them in the team by hook or by crook. You can see Tierney there in the last competitive game playing centre-back, McTominay as well. They've got some good Premier League calibre players in John McGinn, Ryan Fraser, a couple of players promoted now. They're Hanley, although McLean is not going to be there. Che Adams has done bits for Southampton at Premier League level and been called up into that squad. Look, they're going to be very wise, particularly to England, aren't they? They're going to know all of those players inside out, and the England-Scotland game is going to be brilliant. I do say, for the Scots, the more important one is that Czech Republic game. Can they win that game and then get a draw against England or Croatia and get to 4 points, which we think may be enough? Look, let's be honest, someone may well qualify with 3 points. We'll see how the groups pan out, whether we get draw-heavy groups somewhere that all it needs is for that to happen in 1 or 2 groups, and that points total comes down. So, and look, it's a derby match, isn't it? Shall we go with let's do it. Hashtag form goes out the window in a derby match, doesn't it? Can they go and beat England? Who knows? The optimum, I think, here would be, hey, imagine the Croats fade and England can beat, them and the others. Then maybe, wouldn't it be wonderful? England first, Scotland second. Who knows? I don't know how likely that is or how much I'm reaching there, but there you go. Good luck to the Scots, one of our fellow home nations in there. Plenty of familiar players. There's the schedule. You'd kind of prefer it to be the other way round from an England point of view, wouldn't you? With the England-Croatia game last, probably. And then we'd perhaps know what was going on in group. What group is it? Is it group? It's F, the group of death, isn't it? But hey, maybe I'm already fixating on that, and you just gotta sort your own business out and get qualified, haven't you? It's easy to get wrapped up in what everybody else is doing. So yeah, I would have preferred it to be the Czechs, then the Scots, and then the Croats. But look, it's the other way around. It is what it is. And can Scotland get off to a great start? They may well need to, given it's the Croats in the last game for them. But they're in a position with 3 points on the board going into that last game. Can they get the draw there? And just we don't know whether the Croats are going to have faded. Here's what our friends at the bookies are saying. England, very, very heavy odds on to qualify from the group. Do remember, though, a lot of people get confused by this, that in living in England with English betting markets, remember that represents a liability, and the bookies take a hell of a lot of bets on England, don't they? And set to lose a hell of a lot of money if England go on and win the tournament. So it's a liability rather than a probability, as we always say. The Croats, they've got finishing, or second most likely to qualify from the group. They've got the Czechs a little edge ahead of the Scots. So read into that what you will. And of course, please gamble responsibly if you're going to have a little nudge on that. I've had my say. Now you have yours. Let me know your 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, looking at the teams in that we could come up against, I wouldn't be averse to it being Croatia, England, Scotland, Czech. That would be maybe my preferred. But look, if England are going to go on and do well in the tournament, then they've got to beat somebody good in a big game. And there is an argument that other than perhaps someone will correct me on this, maybe, I suppose the Germans in Euro 2000 they beat, didn't they? The Dutch in 96. But in a knockout game, hey, going to have to beat somebody soon, aren't they? So let me know what your 1, 2, 3, 4 is. I think most people will have England and Croatia as 1 and 2 and Scotland and Czech Republic as 3 and 4. Anyway, I've hedged my bets a little bit on that. Let me know your 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will be back with Group E. In fact, I might record it in a minute whilst I'm in the moment. So let me know what you think. And of course, it's Thursday. We're recording on Thursday morning. Now, I don't know when I'll put this out. Probably today. First game tomorrow, Italy and Turkey, and then the watch-along carnage then begins, doesn't it? So do get across the channel if you're new to the channel. Hit subscribe and come and enjoy the Euros with us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.